All praise is Marsha Pot. That was our praise and worship for today. Man, both sides blessed us with some very, very talented musicians and artists. We opened up with the brother Zamaria, No Fear, and that's what we need to start rehearsing now. It's about to get worse. Um, they're threatening a government shutdown by what's the date, man? October something. Um, it's
September 30th,
September 30th. They
October 1st, whatever.
threatening October 30th. They threatening a shutdown. Inflation is getting worse, but we're standing on these promises, and we have no fear. We have no fear. The second song was by our brother Nathaniel Shalom. More life, more blessings, and that's what this tour leads to: more life and more blessings. The third song was by our brother Gerald. He has put his hands to the plow and sharing his gifts with the nation, and that was "Lamb Over Everything," "Love of My Brother." And then the last song you guys know, that was our brother Zamaria, his latest single he released, and pretty much taking your hands off the wheel and giving control to Abba because you don't know better, we don't know no better, so why try to stay in control of things? Even just today at breakfast, when me and my wife was talking, and it's like, uh, especially us teachers, we try to force the family to see this stuff. We want everyone we love to see this light, this truth, and it just leads to you being frustrated. I was just telling my wife, I got to get to the point where I don't care about them. Like not literally I don't care about them, but it's like because my passion for my family and for this way of life is so strong, it leads to you getting physically sick, headaches, and frustrated, and so you'll get depressed knowing that you know the children you birth are about to be destroyed, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like the only thing I can, the the only picture I could paint is like on those movies we watch when someone is forced to watch their loved ones burn up in a burning house, and someone has to hold them back not to run into that house, and that's how it is. Knowing that our loved ones, they're on a track to doom and they don't have no clue, but we gotta just take our hands off of it and continue to do what the Most High told us to do, and give Him control of that. And here's the thing about our culture, and Christians would never see this because their religion just don't teach the truth. But we know in Second Ezra 9, I think it is, or 8 or 9, it says some people were born in vain. And the sad part that we can't talk about openly because we seem evil and mean, and I can't see how God could be in that, is that the person born in vain could be your mother. The person born in vain could be your father, or the person born in vain could be your very child, and that's the hard way of life, the nation we come from. So that's Zamaria's last, very latest single, "Control." The water for all the Akyam, for their gifts, and also forgot to acknowledge the clip I played for Sharash Ibar. That was by our very own Denise Coleman, Nisi Yah. She fellowship with the family Hebrew Heritage. So that clip is called "In This Realm." Malachi 3, I'm going to read verses 1 through 7. Malachi 3, 1 through 7. This ties in what we're doing with this series about covenants, oaths and covenants.
Malachi 3 and verse 1. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And Adonai, whom you seek, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith Yahweh Tazabah. But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap. And when he sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Lawah and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto Yahweh an offering in righteousness. Then shall the offering of Yahweh wa Yarashalam be pleasant unto Yahweh as in the days of old and as in the former years. And I will come near to you in judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers and against the adulterers and against the false swearers and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith Yahweh Tazabah. For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Yaqub are not consumed. Verse 7. Even from the days of your fathers ye have gone away from mine ordinances and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith Yahweh Tazabah. But ye said, wherein shall we return?
All praises to the great I am. This is just pretty much parallel to our series Oaths and Covenants, and we started this series being fair and objective, going over all, not all, we went over the major oaths and covenants to the Gentiles, and now we're going over the oaths and covenants to the children of Israel. And I see you, Zamaria. And what's really so befitting about Malachi 3, Malachi is the so-called end of the so-called Old Testament. And at the end of this so-called Old Testament, Malachi 3 and 6, Father says, I change not, therefore the sons of Jacob are not destroyed. And then he tells them, verse 7, y'all return to me, and I will return to you. And now we flip the page, and these publishers put a blank page, and then you take me to the New Testament, and it's like, well, that first half ended with children of Israel return to me, and now you want me to believe this second half opens up with these are Christians following Christ, and Christ is the new God, and Christ is our King, and Christ is our Savior, and all you got to do is believe in Christ. So that's why this series is very important. If Yah spares my life, I don't know how long it's gonna be. We have so many promises from Abba that no nation can claim. That replacement theology is still being preached to this day. That replacement theology called supersessionism is still being taught to this day. I hear Christians, or I see Christians even on my timeline, they're posting verses as pep talks, but I'm like, and I do show restraint, but I'm like, that verse is talking to the Israelites. So that's why this series is very important. Oaths and covenants. We're showing that our oaths and covenants are superior to all other nations, and there's no getting around that when you read this text with objectivity. Zamaria, you got something out?
Don, I just had a quick question for context. I just pulled up at the house, but I was hearing the scripture, and I heard the strangers put in there the right to the stranger. So I was just checking to see what the context on that was, because I know sometimes the strangers can be, if I'm not mistaken, the Most High. You know, we were strangers to the Most High at one point. So I was just checking to see the context behind what that was referring to when it said the right to the stranger.
All praises. Great question. So what I've been teaching since the Most High has been blessing me, because I heard the brothers how they, everyone's dogs, everyone's going to hell but Israelites. And it's like, well, wait a minute. It says that the Israelites are going to have servants. So how you got only Israel being saved and we're going to have servants? Me as an Israelite, I can't serve an Israelite. We have the same covenant. So that was the first clue for me. Like, all right, these brothers, their understanding is kind of off. So if you go back all the way back to when Solomon finished that temple, that great temple that the family cried over, Solomon himself, he lifted up his hands to the great I am, and he included the strangers in his dedication. He asked the Father that if the strangers who fear you and love your people, well, Slocky, I don't want to add that. Slocky, strike that. I don't want to add that because I don't know if it said that. But he said, if the strangers who fear you, they pray towards this place. He said, hear their petitions and grant them their petitions. So, Zamoya, when this verse is saying those who turn aside the stranger, it's in italics, and my Bible has a footnote saying those who defraud the strangers. So if you're defrauding the strangers, the Most High is going to destroy you. Because even though they're not his chosen people, he still created them. And the Most High reigns on the just and the unjust. So that's why I tell everyone, yes, my goal, one of my passions is to restore nationhood. For us to walk around proud with our fringes on. But not proud where we're looking down on people, telling them that you're a dog and my king called you a dog. No, that's come on, that's wickedness. You don't make nobody feel less of a man because you the chosen people. Just say, hey man, Most High bless your family too. Most High, so that's what it is. We don't defraud a stranger because they're not the chosen people. That's what that's saying. That's what that's saying. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you.
All praises. So Malachi 3 and 6 is just the perfect segue to continue with oaths and covenants. And this is part 5. And we're just going to finish the last 4 talking about us. I'm doing clips of 12 to keep it short so we're not all day. And we did the first 8 the last time I was before you. And we finished with the 8th witness. And the Christians, man, you wouldn't believe the stuff they come up with about Deuteronomy 28, and it's laughable, it's appalling, but Deuteronomy 28 is a promise to us that once you go away from me and once you break your word, I'm going to put you back in chains, and this time it's going to be worse than ever before, and it's going to be so bad they're going to put you in ships. You're going to be serving gods that your fathers didn't know. And historically, we are the only ones who fit that. And they want to say that this already happened. But if you look inside the scriptures, every other captivity that the Most High allowed us to be taken to, like if you read the book of Judges, that's when it first starts. The book of Judges, our captivity first starts because the elders fell asleep. Joshua or Yahushai, Panas, they call him Phinehas, and Eleazar, we know is, Yah is my help. Eleazar, I can't pronounce it right now. When those elders fell asleep,
Alazar.
Say it again.
Alazar.
Alazar, the water. Alazar means Yah is my help. So when they fell asleep, the nation just fell apart. And then to chastise us, the Most High started putting us in captivity. Some were short, like 3 years, 5 years. But during those captivities, we still knew our power. Even though we were serving Canaanite gods, it says, Deuteronomy 28 says, you're going to serve gods that your fathers knew not. Our fathers knew about the Canaanite gods. A lot of our fathers in the wilderness started to serve the Canaanite gods. And that's why we were in the wilderness 40 years. So when they say that, oh, Deuteronomy 28 already happened, you have to show me contextually where this happened at. And we can show, now that we started worshiping the wooden cross, that is the God of wood that the Most High said we would worship. When he said that you're going to worship the God of stone, it's right there in Arabia right now. They have a big old square Kaaba stone that a lot of our brothers and sisters under the banner of Islam, they make a pilgrimage. I mean, I ain't gonna laugh. Don't get me laughing. Oh, Father. It was so hot last year, I think it was. These people making a pilgrimage. These people making a pilgrimage to this idol, and the Most High had them dropping out. They was dying from heat exhaustion. Father, forgive me. Father, forgive me. Ah, it's not funny because, like, like, if I'm seeing people, oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. If I'm seeing people pass out going to worship God, I'm like, what's going on? What? People passing out. They got pouring water on people, and y'all trying to go march around this cube and kiss this cube. So we can show contextually with common sense that this captivity is the only captivity that makes sense about Deuteronomy 28. So we're going to continue with more oaths and covenants to us. I didn't. Let me see if somebody got something in the chat. Oh, please. Okay. So we're going to continue with the last four, the first clip of 12, and we're just going to read the witnesses. All right. So the witness number 9 is coming from DABARYAM 28 and 15. And then we're going to read 15 through 20 and then drop down 25 through 30. Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 20, 25 through 30. And I grabbed this first one. This is the words. This is the words, chapter 28, verse 15 through 20. Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 20. And the Most High is promising us, he says, but it shall come to pass, if you will not listen to my voice, to the voice of your Elohim Yahweh, to observe to do all his matazawah commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. So no matter where you live in New York City, or you live in the backwoods of Carolina, South Carolina, no matter where you live, no matter where you try to go find some shalom, you're going to be cursed. That's what it's saying, right? Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Verse 18. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Deuteronomy 28 and 19. Cursed shall thou be when thou cometh in, and cursed shall thou be when thou go out. Verse 20. Yahweh shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou set thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. And we have live examples of this, because even over here in America, when Father, touched their heart to take us out of the shackles, the physical chains were taken off, we still had to deal with all kind of racism and lynchings. And then even when we started to flourish and build our own communities, you guys, I'm preaching to the choir here, Black Wall Street. You guys, we watched the documentaries. We didn't need any help from the strangers. We had our own community where we had our own doctors, we had our own dentists, we had our own lawyers, we had our own convenience stores. We were thriving, and because we didn't return to the commandments, now we're living as Sunday Christians. Most High wasn't pleased with that. So even though, according to American standards, we were being good people, but we are Israelites. The only way being good is keeping the commandments. So the Most High raised those people up and put jealousy in their hearts, and they were shooting machine guns at our ancestors, gunning them down like dogs. Dr. Rennie said they was running up in our houses. You call us thugs and animals, but you run up in our houses. They said the women was coming out like they got better silverware than me. All because the Most High allowed this because of Deuteronomy 28. Everything you set your hand to, I'm going to destroy it because you guys have rejected me. Any comments or questions about that witness? Dropping down to verse 25 through 30. Deuteronomy 28, verse 25. Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all kingdoms of the Arataza, or the earth. Verse 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto the fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the Arataza, or the earth, and no man shall fray them away. So we have pictures of this. We have these people who did this to us. They actually took pictures. Like, I mean, just today I was telling my wife a movie preview came on. It was a horror. I don't like horror movies no more. I guess I don't know. I don't like horror. I don't like seeing all that gore and that blood and that wickedness. And how wicked you gotta be that you want to capture this man with his eyes bulging out. You want to capture on photo this man that y'all done gutted like a fish. But they took pictures, and these pictures became postcards. We got pictures that they left our bodies just to rot. And the vultures and crows came and started plucking out eyeballs. One of the most painful songs is Strange Fruit. Strange Fruit. If you listen to the original one, the original one is by Billie Holiday. My girl did a rendition of it too. What's her name? Nina Simone. Nina Simone did a rendition of Strange Fruit, and I like hers. But the original Strange Fruit was by Nina Simone, and the power of Strange Fruit, family, you won't believe this. Strange Fruit was a poem written by a fish. This professor, I believe he was an English professor, was coming down from the north, and as he's coming down into the belly of the south, he rides past and see one of our ancestors hanging in a tree. And I imagine he stopped and stared and at so long, but he went and wrote that poem, Strange Fruit, and it became a song. So we have records that confirm this happened to us. The Most High, we made a covenant. The Most High says, this is part of your promise that you're making with me. That if you stay with me and listen to my commandments, I'll bless you above all the people on the earth. But if you fall away from me and hurt me and take my name in vain, I'm going to put these curses on you. These curses are part of our promise. They're part of our contract. And we are the only ones who can show with documentation this happened to us. This happened to us. Where did I stop off at? Verse 27. Yahweh shall smite thee with the botch of Matazarayim, or Egypt, and with the emeralds or hemorrhoids, and with the scab, and with the itch, the clap, whereof thou cannot be healed. Verse 28. Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Deuteronomy 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes thereof. So this is part of our oath. We agreed to this. So I know it seems kind of, because of our Greco-Roman minds, it seems kind of hard to believe that we're in covenant right now. But we are in covenant. This is part, us being servants for 40 hours a week is part of our covenant. Any comments or questions about that witness? Ya'ala says, almost like in 2nd Ezra, talking about Yah judging the nations that oppress us. Khan, they're gonna have theirs. That's the sad part. Like, they think they're winning, but the Most High is just using you as pawns to make us jealous and come back to Him. That's why I'm not perfect. Some days I may get kind of beside myself, But when they started talking about inflation and my bills are overdue, eh, it's almost over anyway. It's all coming back to me. So I can't allow myself to get in a funk too much knowing that this whole thing is a facade. Your currency is fiat tissue. So why I'm going to get stressed over your dollar that has no value? It's all coming back to us. The water for that comment, Ya'ala. All right, the second witness. Anybody want to take Deuteronomy 30 verses 1 through 7? The second promise or the 10th promise? Deuteronomy 31 through 7.
I got you.
I got.
Got it.
You said I got it. All right.
Yeah, he said you got it.
Deuteronomy 30, verse 1 through 7. Shema. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither Yahweh thy Elohim have driven thee, and shalt return unto thee Yahweh thy Elohim, and shalt obey his voice to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul. That then Yahweh thy Elohim will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh thy Elohim hath scattered thee. Verse 4. If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of the Shemayim, or the heavens, from thence will Yahweh thy Elohim gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And Yahweh thy Elohim will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it. And he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. And Yahweh thy Elohim will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thine seed to Yahweh thy Elohim with all thine heart, with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. Verse 7. And Yahweh thy Elohim will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee.
All praises. I believe somebody has something. Somebody has a comment. I believe we're at the beginning stages of Deuteronomy 30 because it says when it comes to pass after you guys suffer, you experience some of the blessings and the curse, and now you bethink yourselves in the lands where I have driven you, and you come back to me. We're witnessing this right now. We're meeting brews all over the states. Thanks to technology, we can see Israelites standing up in UK. That's why I do my best not to knock any other group publicly. Those of us brothers, we have conversations behind closed doors on how people are moving, but publicly I try to just stay united because if they're pushing the commandments, all praise to the great I am. All the extracurricular stuff, Yahweh Shai can get us in line. But we have to get the commandments back on this earth or back in his people. That's why I hate when these brothers do all these critique videos on another Israelite. Dude, you sound dumb to me. If they're teaching the commandments, let that go forth. Let the commandments go forth. And the Most High can do just like in the first century when the so-called Gentile Israelites was coming back into the fold. Peter and them said, listen, you Pharisees, stop putting all that on them right now. If they don't want to get circumcised right now, Moses is being taught every week, every Shabbat. They'll catch up. The Most High deal with their spirit. They'll eventually circumcise themselves. But who are you to say, oh, if you want to be part of the Israelites, this is what you need to be doing? No. So I believe we're at Deuteronomy 30. The Most High is gathering his sheep little by little, and then textual criticism, or just critical thinking, I should say. Critical thinking. Remember, I said years ago, religion is the only vehicle that doesn't allow critical thinking. My pastor said it. I believe it. That settles it. Just believe. You just gotta have faith. Nah, I need some text. Messiah says the Most High says it's not up in heaven that you should say who should go up and get it for us. So critical thinking. It says that when you guys return to me, I'm going to circumcise your heart and the heart of your children, and then I'm going to multiply you above your fathers. These people who are saying they're God's people, they have been in war since they've been in the land. They have not celebrated not 1 year. I'm talking about since 1948. Go Google this. I did it years ago. You can go Google. They've been in conflicts every year since 1948. And even when they did finally subdue and get the upper hand, the Palestinians still be tormenting them, throwing rocks at them. So the Most High says, I'm going to multiply you above your fathers. If you visit that land, I don't have no plans to, but that land right now is nowhere near what Solomon had. They don't have no temple near what Solomon had. So how can y'all be the people if y'all don't fit this Deuteronomy 30? So, and then he says, Deuteronomy 30 and 7, he says, I'm going to put these curses on your enemies who persecuted you. You said that these people had y'all in gas chambers. Why the Most High ain't persecute them yet? This is critical thinking. I don't care who laughs at us, who mocks us for wearing fringes, who laughs at us for buying lamb. We are the people, and our time is coming. The Most High is back with us. Any comments or questions about that? Y'all ain't gonna get me stirred up. All right, the next witness is second DABARYAM is Second Chronicles. Second Chronicles is the same thing as DABARYAM. It's a newspaper. It's recordings. Second Chronicles 7:12 through 16. Second Chronicles 7:12 through 16. Shemaya, you want to grab that up? I think this is a staple too. Yes, this is a staple. We got one more. We out of here, Masha Pop.
Second Chronicles chapter 7, verse 7.
12 through 16.
It says, And Yahweh appeared to Shalom by night and said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and have chosen this place to myself for an house of sacrifice. If I shut up the Shemayim that there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from the Shemayim and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now mine eyes shall be open and my ears attent unto the prayer that is made in this place. For now I have chosen and sanctified this Bayat that my name may be there, La'alam, forever. And mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually.
All praises to the great I am. No other nation can claim this promise, and it's whew, man. Let me get myself together. Whew, man. Oh man. This is a witness. I think I mentioned this during the Feast of Hanukkah. Like the Most High uses His earth as His weapons. Like I know a lot of us, and I still advocate having things with you. I try to remind my wife, but but the Most High can use the birds as weapons. He can use the wind as weapons to fight our battles. That's why, like, I'm cool. Like, I don't just sit on my hands and just do that blind Christian thing. Like, I'm gonna be vigilant of my surroundings, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm trained. Go to the practice and all that stuff. But He uses His creation for His people. Like the Red Sea, we passed through dry land, but now y'all try to do it and y'all drown. So I wanted to point that out. And then what we really came for is Second Chronicles 7:14. Man, I mean, I grew up in the church. I learned how to read in Sunday school, and I've heard this verse so many times as a child, and it's crazy. I still see Christians posting in it. It's like I just pray for them like they have no understanding, because they believe being called by the Most High's name is He's calling you out of sin into the church. But it's like, nah, being called by His name is Zechariah, Hanakya. Being called by His name, you have Yah's name on you, and that's only for Yashar'Allah, the children of Israel. So He's talking to us specifically that if you ones who are called by my name, if y'all humble yourselves and repent, I hear from heaven and I heal your land. And just keeping things in context, He says, yeah, you called by my name, I'm gonna heal your land, but it's He's talking to Solomon. He's talking to Solomon, who is ruling his people. So again, having a conversation this morning, we just should be thankful. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to make others see this thing. If the Most High is with you and telling you, giving you a word, then of course you be obedient to Abba. But don't frustrate yourself and where it puts you in a depressed mood because mom, sister, aunties on their way. Just enjoy their company the best you can. We had a gathering for my wife, and I wasn't trying to. They know when they come here. Ain't no swine and unclean food. They already know. Don't bring it. We don't know. But just enjoy the food, enjoy the music, enjoy the company. Especially the elders who are 70 plus. They may die in their sleep. You don't know. So just don't frustrate yourself trying to force this light on someone. If they see the light in you and they start asking questions, then by all means feed the Most High's people. But if He's not with them, He's not with them. And that's the beauty about this Second Chronicles. The Christians want to take this and put it on bumper stickers and all kind of billboards. He's talking to the children of Israel. Solomon just dedicated the first physical building we ever had to gather and worship. So this is a promise to us. Nobody can take this from us. Nobody can take this from us. Any comments or questions about that witness? All right, the last one, and we're out of here for today, is Isaiah 40:9. Yashayah 40:9. Anybody want to grab that one? Isaiah 40:9. Again, this is a staple inside religion, but it's out of context inside their religion. Yashayah 40:9.
Yeah, I got you out.
All praise the water up.
Isaiah chapter 40, verse 9. Shema. O Zion, that bringeth good tidings, get thee up into the high mountain, O Yerushalayim, that bringeth good tidings, lift up thy voice with strength, lift it up, be not afraid. Say unto the cities of Yahweh, behold your Elohim. Behold, Yahweh the Elohim will come with a strong hand, and his arm shall rule. For behold him, excuse me, and his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm, and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are with young.
All praises. This whole chapter is our redemption. This whole chapter is our resurrection, and it's Hebrewisms in here. Now, the Christian religion has taken Messiah and made him God, and their reading comprehension is either they have a spirit of Antichrist on them, or the Most High just blinded their eyes. This arm of Yah is his son. This arm of Yah is his son. And it says he's going to feed his flock like a shepherd. When it says he's going to feed his flock like a shepherd, Yahweh Shai or the Son is not the shepherd. It says he's going to feed his flock like a shepherd. So Yahweh Shai is feeding Abba's flock like a shepherd. Does that make sense? Because religion has tried to make them two the same. The Son and the Father are the same. And they will cohere and show you, like, see, this is messianic, and it says he's going to feed his flock like a shepherd. And it's like, bro, like, reading comprehension, that ain't making sense. Because it says the Most High is going to save his people with his arm. And we know Yahweh Shai's name starts with the glyph of the arm. So it's Yahweh Shai being the minister, the servant, who's feeding the flock like a shepherd. But Yahweh Shai the Son is not the shepherd. He's acting in the place of the shepherd. And then it amazes me how many times I've heard the Christianity religion quote Isaiah, but keep it in context. Isaiah tells you who the audience is. O Zion. So it's just another proof text, Mashapot, that if you're in this covenant, no, that don't mean you perfect. No, it doesn't mean that you conquered your flesh. But if you're in this covenant and you're fighting tooth and nail to keep the Most High's ways, his law, statutes, commandments, he has, whatever reason, maybe your great grandma was faithful. Somebody in your line was praying, and the Most High says, I'm going to bless that one right there. Because it don't take all day to see this. You don't have to spend $25,000 on cemetery school and get all these Greek curriculums to see this. Isaiah 44, say to Zion, your king is coming. Say to Zion, I'm going to gather your children as a shepherd gather his flock. So these are promises, oaths to us. We can prove with prophecy, and we can prove with secular research that we are these people. And we're going to, if y'all be with us, we continue to go over the oaths and covenants that's left to us. And the purpose is not so y'all can have it. It's a 2-for-1. You're going to naturally, as we go through this series, you're going to naturally load up your armory to help, other people see this. But that's not my goal with this series. It's going to get bad. I don't know when. It's really going to get bad out here. And I want to have this as a record that if you get walked to the gate at your job, if the repo man is outside to get your car, you just go into praise and worship. Because we have promises. We have oaths that's not of this society. We have oaths not of their economy. So I don't care about inflation is up 30%. I don't care old buddy want to apply more tariffs on people. I don't care about none of that. I know I'm going to keep working as a pilgrim here, but I'm looking out the window. I'm asking Abba, is it time? I'm going to keep my hand on the plow, but I'm focused on these promises. And my promises ain't nothing. My promises has nothing to do with the Dow Jones. So that's the purpose of this series. Again, just to strengthen your hope, whether you're on a peak right now or you're down in the valley, rehearse these promises. Most High is not going to fail us. With that, I yield the water for your time. Ya Allah, you had something up?
Yeah, going back to what you were saying about our promises and not worrying about anything. Like I saw like when I was like looking for a job on Indeed, like I didn't see any like part-time jobs, none really available, and that's just more like confirmation of America's falling down or judgment. So it's happening. So and but like I didn't let that make me sad or depressed or anxious. I actually actually rejoiced at that because that's proof that y'all's promise is actually happening. So, but that's all I gotta say.
All praise as a witness to that. My wife was talking about our daughter. She's trying to improve her status, and she's saying it's really dry out here. So Most High will be done. But that's why, and when you have conversations like that with your family, that's the perfect segue. Is if we keep these statutes and commandments, we're gonna be all right. And you know, it's. I know I'm a writer. I'm still a writer at heart, even though I haven't written anything in years. But that's when that Hollywood movie stuff come. They we say it all the time. They base their movies, their scripts on our scrolls. But can you imagine? Again, the grocery stores are dry. Nothing's there, but you wake up every morning to 2 or 3 deer in your yard, or a bunch of chickens in your yard, and then when someone comes to try to steal them, they either fall dead or the chickens fly away. That's the faith I have in Abba. I know you can laugh at me, they can say I'm crazy. We'll see who's crazy in the end. The bottom for that, Ab. Anybody else?